Thank you. Good morning. Looks like you breached into my system and took a glance at my presentation. Well, I can skip the first slides for that. Anyway, so the 42 AG, 42 is we had our naming day on Sunday. Everybody knows it was the 10-10-10 day. 42. 42 is we founded a company in 2007, and the goal of the company was to bring the internet on a easy to use system to everybody. Say my mother, your grandmother. So to these people who are not familiar with technology like we are, like using this every day, using it on a mobile 100 times a day, probably going to the internet. The company, furthermore, supports other companies on developing touch optimized systems. So, and what we did is right now we are single based one product company. So what we do is the WeTab. That's the thing here. And the WeTab is as he introduced, is a product which is combinedly developed with partners like Intel, with Adobe, and Medion, who does the hardware for us. Of course, also Nokia Qt, who support us on a very nice technology. The WeTab itself is here we do see just a pic on the browser. Going to this later. The WeTab itself is a well, it's a 11.6, as we also heard. It's an Intel Atom-based platform, so it's no ARM technology, as the most tablets are out there in the world. It's the largest tablet which is currently available on the market. The hardware offers, well, it's an open system, so the hardware offers all these what you're known with, which you know from netbook technology and which you know from everyday computing like you do. And this is actually the main topic that we say, okay, we have an open system. This is also like one of the title is, it's keeping consistency in UI technology in open systems with all the problems that occur in an open system. The market start was in September 2010, the 23rd September in Germany, and the follow-up plans going on starting from December in other countries. The base of the WeTab, of course, is its software. So the software is the WeTab OS. It's, well, you can probably read faster than I can talk about this. The main point is, as I pronounced earlier, the main point is to have some system which is not going the standard way which we did before, which we see before, but that it goes a different way. So it's something I said we started this 2007, so there was no iPad, there was no iPhone, there was not even netbooks. So the first hardware we took for developing was a 2,500 euro tablet PC, which is this big and was about 2.5 kilos, something like that. So the window of opportunity just opened in the last years and especially months since the iPad opened the market to the mass people, or to the attention of the press. The widget-based interface, as you can see here, is on the lower left. You can see a bigger screen, so with live content from the internet, and on the right side you can see just widgets which you know from other operating systems like the iOS. So what we do is we have starter to the internet, and also like contributing content directly into the interface, that you have one single point where you get all your information. You might know this MeeGo system, like the tablet UI from MeeGo, which was introduced, which will not be the official tablet UI, was just a shot from how it could look like. It's the same, like bringing everything to one point, that you have one door you want to enter, and then you get everything you need. That's the main topic. So as I said, we're open system. We do support Linux applications, Adobe Flash applications, Air, Java, HTML5, and also Android. Android is a bit different because Android is running in a virtual machine. It's sitting on top of the MeeGo system. The main reason for this, to having an open system, was to say, okay, you guys, you developers can choose whatever you want. We will not force you to develop on this Java, like in Android or on Objective-C or whatever. You just stick with that what you are. So the point this was the point for the developers, and for the users is just to have all applications you want. Intel just introduced some days ago that they will develop a compiler for compiling for translating ARM applications into the x68 world. So this is also the way to not force the users to decide which technology they want to use, but just what application they want to use. The core application, nevertheless, in the WeTab are written in C++ Qt, and it's based on 4.6. And since 4.7 is out now since some weeks, we will upgrade this now within the next weeks to 4.7, with all the benefits in 4.7. Of course, though, the WeTab SDK, as you already said, will be based on the MeeGo SDK plus going on to the tools for C++ Qt and Qt Web Runtime. So you heard this MeeGo as a base. It's like, you could say it's something like Ubuntu and Kubuntu, something like that. So the WeTab OS is, of course, taking the benefits from the MeeGo underlying system. And we just put a specific UI on top. The specific UI, MeeGo is meant to have different UIs. So there exists a netbook UI, a smartphone, a tablet, a automotive, a whatever. So you could just sit on top of a specific graphics UI framework, which enables the developers to build a optimized framework, UI framework for the specific needs of a tablet or of a smaller screen or a TV, which you have different UIs, of course. So the MeeGo system, we came from Ubuntu. You might know this, who knows about the WeTab. We came from Ubuntu. Formerly, we came from Debian, then we switched to Ubuntu, then we switched to MeeGo. The reason is just quite simple. MeeGo is a perfect system for these kind of devices. So it was, we compared this, we did some testing, we did some deeper digging into the code for that, and it's really nice to have something like this because of this easy adapter of the UI. The MeeGo system right now, this is the first device in the world which is based on MeeGo and is in the mass market, so we have the advantages but also the disadvantages of a mass market product, which is the first one because just think about the millions of corner cases in communication technology, and if you go out there and then definitely you have some bugs in the system where the users, especially early adopters who do not use the standard technology or routers, they just do fancy stuff with these to secure the networks and stuff, and then they might have problems on this. But nevertheless, we believe in MeeGo, and that's why we think there will be a fast-growing world of applications for, you can read it, netbooks, smartphones, and so on. So we have a variety of applications, and think that Qt is the standard of the MeeGo, or it's the preferred framework for MeeGo, as they say. We think this is a good case also to stick on Qt. Just for us, for the information, we do have a internal development teams up to, in a peak level, it was 34 developers at different locations. So we had to talk about, we had a team here in Munich, we had a team on an offshore team with a bridgehead here in Germany, and then we also had to integrate external teams with external technology into the system. We are based on a Scrum process, so it's well defined, iteration length of 2 weeks, and just for considering the UI topic, which is one of the topics here in this talk. So what we do is we have a design iteration which is about 2 weeks ahead of the development, so that everything is really done, because everybody knows this from development. Yeah, we're gonna deliver the design afterwards, just code it now, and that's then you will have problems and you will slow down your development, of course. What we like, especially in Qt, based on the experience we made in the last month, and well, we switched to MeeGo to give you a shortcut on this. We switched to MeeGo somewhere in May, April, May. So the development was completely ported from this Ubuntu system, which was actually based on a web-based system, which a complete Java system running on the WeTab, and on top there was a well, actually you can call it simpler website, and all the widgets which you could see were in this website. So we switched to Qt and to MeeGo plus Qt, and what we really like is, of course, this wide framework, this variety. You have something really deep low from the dbus system where you can just connect up to a animation system. So you have everything what you like on a framework. On the graphics view framework, which you can see, which I will show afterwards, on the which is the underlying technology for the pinboard, which is the main menu, the desktop, and also the style sheets. You just say, okay, well, you know this as you develop from Qt, but this gave us so much speed on developing, well, quite fast, so that we could have the market entry in September. And of course, the Qt Creator. The Qt Creator is a good example to how you could integrate the developers, the designers into the development process, because most times it's okay, you design something and the worst thing is you just give it as a JPEG, so you send it to the developer, and the developer, well, what should he do? So then it looks different, and the designer says, okay, this is not how I meant it, and you need a process how to really to connect these people. And the Qt Creator is a good tool to connect these people, because a designer has to just get into coding, what they usually don't like, and just use the creator, and then the developer just goes there and just says, okay, this is the action for this, and this is the action for this, and then you could really develop very fast. We did, since I talked about this, we are based on 4.6, Qt 4.6, so we do not cannot take benefit of QML, which needs 4.7, but the first trials we did for that look promising. So once we switch to 4.7, we will definitely put this into our development process to be better on the QML, to take benefit from the QML, from the fast development. Yeah, I talked about this. The WeTab supports application written in different technologies. So what we do have here, every core application which we did, like the browser, which was developed from the scratch based on QWebKit, was written in Qt, and like the media gallery, I will come to this on the porting topic, was based on GTK and we ported it to Qt. So the consistency is a very, very important topic. The consistency for the user. So the user interface is the user just thinks, if you have or let me keep it like this, if you have a framework on an Android or on an iOS, that's quite easy, because everybody just takes part of this SDK and develops, and you can take this this button, and this is the style, and everything is fixed. Well, in iOS, of course, much more than in Android, but everything is more like one line. And in an open system, if you want to say, okay, well, we take benefit of all the applications are out there for an x68 platform, then you have the problem. For example, the OpenOffice. We integrated OpenOffice, and just think about what effort it would take to port OpenOffice, or to say adapt the user interfaces for OpenOffice. I think that you could spend a year for that in a big team. And then the guys say, okay, sorry, you got to fork this because we do not take it in the upstream. And then you're done with this. So that's, of course, always the problem in taking open source technology into your system, which is not, let it keep it like this, which does not have one head. And Qt, that's the good thing in Qt for me, that there's one head and there's one guideline, and there's one thing, one path you can see, and you can read the roadmap, and everything's fine. And in an open system, the people, like, you know, the flame wars and all the stuff that's going on, you might have problems in this. So the OpenOffice, as one example, heavy product, which we just adapted for using on a touchscreen. So we increased the icon size, and we increased the theming, of course, which is very important, that you say, okay, I have a theme for GTK, I have a theme for Qt, I have a theme for also Adobe Air, and then you're done, because everything else is not based on a framework. Everything else is just done from the developer itself. And one important thing is to have a creative head, from my perspective. So one who is who is mastermind of the design guidelines, and who says, okay, that's the way we want to go, and who has the who can raise his finger and say, okay, not like this, so that the developers stick to his words, and they believe in what he says. And well, so you need to empower him to give these advices. Porting. Oops, the picture's cut. Porting. There you see also the stuff on open systems. So took the screenshot, and now it's not shown properly. Anyway, so this is one of the porting apps we did, is the Media Gallery. The Media Gallery was developed from the scratch in GDK. It's about the lines of code were about 20,000, and then we ported it to Qt. Since it was based on GDK, there was no significant reduction of lines of code. So, since GDK, you might know this, GDK is is based on C, and GDK is actually based on C++, like Qt. So what we take, of course, it's much more fun to develop. It might be much more fun, let me call it like this, to develop in C++ and take efforts of all the possibilities which are done automatically for you. The main topic why we decided to port this application, we developed it from the scratch in GDK and then ported it, is that we have a better maintenance for the future. That's the main topic. So why do we port applications, or should we keep it like this? This is always the question if you doing development in this area. We said, okay, we want to take benefit of all the upcoming Qt options that will be in the framework in the future, and take benefit of everything which is done automatically in Qt and has to be developed by ourselves in GDK, for example. The second one was actually the main topic, which is the WeTab Desktop. So the WeTab Desktop is, as you can see here, it's just a it was formerly a complete Java stack running on the system. So just think of Java was meant to be, what did it? Okay, let me keep it a bit more from before. What we said, okay, we want to have this as a device which is addressable from the system itself plus from the web. So means that everything will move in the cloud. So actually, in some years, you might just need stupid devices. Stupid in terms of they do not need much power within. And on the other hand, you will, of course, address it from your mobile phone, from this device, and from whatever device. So what we said, okay, let's keep it completely in the web. So what we did is running a Java machine on the system, and on top there were widgets like written in just web technology. Web technology, most people know this, it's quite easy to learn, that's why we decided on this. The problem was that we ran very quickly into a dead end, performance dead end. Because just think when you develop all that stuff into a Java server, never was designed to have a very quick boot up or to have something like no performance issues, because it's based for desktop devices. So what we did is we ported the whole application. We thought about porting it, and then we did it, of course, completely from scratch. So we developed this. It's about the pin board itself right now is about 12,000 lines of code, which is quite small for that, but it's quite performant. And this is the actual point. So the performance issue, why we switched completely to Qt, and we could stick actually in this web runtime environment. So C++ and Qt, plus in the future also the Web Runtime, which enables all the guys out there who do web development to do rather quick development of applications or widgets. That's actually the point. So, regarding the, keep it like that. Regarding, well, let's keep it like this. Do you have any questions on this topic now? Because then otherwise I would go into some other topics deeper. No questions?
Why did you choose Intel versus ARM? Isn't there a power consumption? Isn't there a power consumption limitation or something in ARM? I mean, Intel uses more power versus ARM.
Yes. Actually, the main topic was two topics. The one thing was when we decided which platform we would take. The first testing devices we had in 2009 were VIA-based, so it was also x68 platform. And then we had all the development already on VIA, on x68 platform. Plus, the other point is that actually there are a lot of ARM applications, but there are trillions of x68 applications. And the only question is how to move them on this system, on an open system, and to enable developers to write in their native language they already know. So this was the main question. But of course, right now this is something which is what the main topic now is, why we think it's a good point to stick on a system which is Intel-based, is that you have a lot of performance compared to an ARM processor. Of course, you still have some topics of the battery life, for example. You cannot deny this. But on the other hand, you have the full capability of a system which everybody knows from a native, from full comprehensive system. Sorry?
What's the performance battery life?
It depends on if you for example, if you have it in idle mode, what every vendor calls it an idle mode, and it goes up to 6 hours. And if you put it on, for example, okay, if you watch a movie, then it goes up to 2.5 hours, depending depending on the movie. And usual use case, like when you surf in the internet, of course, then it's about 4.5 to 5 hours, depending if you have, since it's a multitasking system, if you have several browser windows with several Flash applets running in the background, then it really sucks power. That's, of course, also the problem of a open system, yes. We thought about this to say, for example, right now you could open 100 windows if you want to do this. So, but you will definitely see that the system goes down on this. So the decision is always to say, okay, hey user, you are not allowed to open more than 10 windows, or like Windows says you're not allowed to run 3 applications at the same time on a netbook edition. But on the other hand, you could also say what we do is, okay, you have 20 windows open now. Hey, might be a performance issue. Do you really need all the windows open? It's more like advising the people to take it right, because for example, tab browsing is a wonderful thing, but on the other hand, to say on consistency, if you, for example, have tab browsing here now in the Explorer, and I've just to have something like the expose mode here, which is then you have all the windows here, but the normal user doesn't know that there also might be tabs in a browser, so within a window. So and always think about not us, because we can stick into every system. We don't care if there's a problem. We don't care if there's because we are eager to learn this. On the other hand, my mother, she doesn't want to learn that. And I put this, for example, as we had this testings, I put this to my grandmother, and we had to learn directly, because she's quite honest to me. On the other hand, we had a testing group from 3 different target groups, which was 1 geeks, 1 second user groups, like they are used to use Windows and stuff. And the third group was offliners. They never heard of a computer before. And we put this into their hands, and they were quite easy to understand that, because they just click here and click there, and okay, that happens. And you will not get into, I don't know, many substructures and submenus where you could define the autosave time in milliseconds, whatever. That's the point. One thing what we did here is first, since we were based on Qt, and I said, okay, we had to do a rapid development, and then we had to switch this, and this was really quite a lot of work. So switching to MeeGo, probably we underestimated a bit, because we had to really do a lot of work to shift it from also like the update system, for example, in Ubuntu is completely different to an update system in MeeGo and all this stuff. So we had to do a lot of work. And we will, for example, shift an update by tomorrow, which introduces multitouch to the whole system, which is multitouch is, well, as you know, it's quite still a problem, let's call it like this, in Linux. Ubuntu introduced it, the base for multitouch in 10.10 now also, which they released on, I think, also on Sunday on the 10th of October. What we did is we enable all the Qt applications to have multitouch. So what we do, for example, is we just bypass the X server. X is fantastic, but X has lines of code which are from the early 80s, so which is really crazy on a modern system, on a modern client. So what of course, you know this, Apple did this and Android did this, they got rid of X. So, but we have X to support all the to all the devices or to all the applications which are out there. So what we did is basically we just used Qt, and we just use Qt to directly communicate with the kernel. The kernel is patched to access the touch points from the touch controller, and then we do multi-touch on the system, which is working quite fine. So we had some issues on this multi-touch topic regarding, for example, we were based on Qt Web. No, we were based on Qt Graphics, and then we switched to Qt Web Graphics to enable faster rendering. So what we do now have, everybody knows this from a mobile phone, if you scroll down very fast, the system always loads just the topic which you can see, and then calculates renders the other stuff. What we did before is to have the whole application, the whole website rendered at once, because we have one specific item here, which is the thumbnail navigation here. So of course, if you just think about a huge website like Spiegel.de, for example, it takes a while to render that stuff. So what the efforts are now is to especially go deeper into performance issues, to how to speed up the rendering, because this device is mainly based for surfing. Everybody complains about, or a lot of people say, okay, what are the apps? But to be honest, what are the apps? The apps will lie on two topics. It will be on the future, there will be a lot of apps in the internet, because we have a lot of web services already existing, which do exactly what we want. And from the perspective of a developer, of course, it's better to have something maintenance on one system, on my server, which is load balanced, rather than to have millions of devices out there. With millions or with a lot of different versions out there, which you always have to test against. So this is the topic why we decided to have our own browser, that we could especially adapt it on the needs what we have, which are web-based.
What was the intention to switch to MeeGo? You have a big platform with Intel-based, and also create your own UI system. So why? Qt is available in other OS too. Right,
but for example, MeeGo is developed especially for these kind of devices. For example, the boot up time is 16 seconds, and you are online. You could click and browse. The standby time, the wake up time from standby is 1 second. This is something which is thanks to MeeGo is done here, and a lot of the UI what we did based on Ubuntu, we had to, well, it's getting better now, but if you are on Ubuntu, actually you have to stick on GNOME somehow because Ubuntu is made for this, and the problem is GNOME and GTK is also fantastic, but Qt offers more options on this. And if you put the whole interface on Qt, because the desktop is actually the Pinwand, the desktop is actually just a program which is started. So we got rid of this desktop because you don't need a desktop in this kind. And then we switched to MeeGo because of all the frameworks, the underlying frameworks on MeeGo are just, well, they are made for this. They just say, hi, okay, just connect to me, and then I will do the work for you. Of course, it's we have right now MeeGo 1.0. We will have a 1.1 within the next weeks. In October is the release date, and it's getting better and better and broader and broader. Of course, in Ubuntu, which is in the market for several years, has other issues, but there is definitely the system, MeeGo system, is definitely better for a non-desktop device. Yes, and you can buy it in Germany at Amazon and MediaMarkt since September.
You may have said this already. I missed the first 5 to 10 minutes because I was in the wrong room. You may have said this already because I missed the first 10 minutes. What about the applications? Is there going to be an app store, or do you have a repository, or how?
Yes, we do have we have our own market. It's called the WeTab market, and right now there are not many applications inside, to be honest, because what we did in the first place is just to keep the system, to keep it stable and to keep it to match all the corner cases in the market out there. The next topic will be to have applications in the store from developers. So we are already talking to developers, and other open source developers are coming to us and say, okay, how can I get this into the store? And we will develop this. We will open this SDK later this year, but we will open it's not a complete SDK, but it's guidelines how to get this into store within the next days. And basically, it's just it has to run on the MeeGo 1.0, and it has to get on the widgets. It's just some C++ Qt code, and then you're in the you could go into the market and everybody could download this. We have also a business model which you know from a standard app store. And the main topic, which is different to a standard app store, is that we also say, okay, we are open in this way also. So one thing is what we will do is to integrate the Intel App Hub, which is the netbook store from Intel for MeeGo. We will integrate an Adobe marketplace. This is what we will do. And we also have on the system right now the Android Pit, which is a Android market, a second vendor market, since Google does not allow on huge tablets further than 7-inch to address the original market. And the Android Pit right now is running in the virtual machine and will be connected to the WeTab market. So the main topic is to have one door, and you go in there, and then you have all the apps. And not to have 1, 2, 3, 4 doors, and you have to decide in the first place, okay, which technology do I want to use? Because then we will stuck and get not forward for the user. And the big point is always for the user, for the user, for the user. That's what often is forgotten, unfortunately.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
How can you debug? Yeah. What we do is, well, right now you could, you have a root shell, as you can see here. So you just, actually I take my mother again as an example. If she reads that, she doesn't know what that means. So she will not get there, but you can just go to the market and download the root shell. Then you have root rights on the system, sudo rights on the system. So you could actually do what you want on this way. What we will do is that we will base this SDK on a MeeGo SDK. It's actually a complete IDE with all the options you need to do this, to debug and develop and all this stuff. But what we also do is we will publish some tools how to reset the system and all that stuff so that you can just play around and do your own stuff. But actually, to develop an app, and everybody who wants to develop an app, of course, this is okay. Take it personally, and you can share this app with us and bring it to our market, because we would really like to have further apps in the market. Because actually, it has this system, and the idea of the system could just live the open source community. It will not work if a little company with 42 is doing all the application development. That's not going to happen. But everybody needs, or everybody who wants to contribute an application is able to contribute this application to the terms he likes to have.
No digital rights management?
Yes, we do have a digital rights management, which is actually, well, you could have your own digital rights management within the software. But what we do is the system is the back end is a Java-based web store and the application store. And the application store communicates with the pinboard, and is it allowed to run this application on the pinboard? Of course, if you have root rights, you only can get security through obscurity. That's the problem. So basically, you could kick out every DRM on a system on that. We trust, yes, we trust you. Well, of course, if you want to copy that RPM file and spread it in torrent, of course, but that's this many people probably. And the basic idea is, if somebody wants to have 99 cents for the application, sorry, but it's one click, and 99 cents is 1/3 of a beer. So to stick on Bavaria.
What version of Qt is running on the WeTab? Can I? That's over here.
Yeah, so
Can I run a Qt quick application on it?
It's 4.6 right now, and we will upgrade to 4.7 within the next weeks.
Okay, cool.
How do you push firmware updates?
We do. We do it. We gotta get this number here, so it's funny. We push them directly via a pushed update. So the updates completely come automatically on the system, because this is also part of the philosophy. I just want to have the updated system. I don't want to care if there is have to download and update, whatever. It should be there. So we just push it. But regarding if we do firmware update and all this stuff, that's in the same topic. Like think of Android. When Android is updating, it goes into a special mode, updates itself, and then goes back again. So this is what we do when we have the firmware update. Yeah.
What media will you support? Will you support
Well, media support is an interesting topic, since you have to deliver, well, you could have the repositories, and there are already existing repositories which are for private use. Let me keep it like this, for codecs, for example. But what we did is we delivered a lot of codecs that did standard codecs with it. And if there is some niche codecs which might be needed, for example, the users could also, well, hook it in. But what we do is we focus on the mass market, what the people need there. And this is why it's currently not supported.
I believe we're out of time now, Stefan. Do you welcome any closing remarks?
Thank you for listening. As written, if you want to contribute applications, you're very, very welcome to do so.